Okay. Hi everyone. I'm back to give you all an update. It's been a bit since I last filmed a video about Fulbright. I think the last one I posted was in June. It is now end of December. We're 15 days until my departure to Korea, and so I wanted to update y'all on what I've been up to since then. First and foremost, I have a new camera. I'm not filming on my iPhone anymore. My older brother was kind enough to let me borrow his during my duration of my Fulbright in Korea, so I'm excited for all of the quality stuff I'll get to shoot on this new camera. Since I saw y'all last, I've been very busy. First and foremost, I've been substitute teaching. I didn't accept a full-time teaching job because I knew that A, I would be busy with things to do for Fulbright, and B, it wouldn't be fair to whatever school I worked at as I am leaving after the first semester. So I've been substitute teaching, some high school, mainly middle school, so that's been super fun. The kids are crazy, but it's what I like to do. I was thankful to get some teaching experience in before I left. Some other things, like I said, I've been doing a lot of paperwork, signing documents, getting things ready, sending things to the US government, sending things to Fulbright in Korea just to make sure everything's in order. Along those lines, well, one of the first things I received from Fulbright back in August, I think it was, is they sent me a document just to sign, accepting my award, and then send it back to them. And so I did that over email immediately, no hesitations there, signed it, sent it back. And then 2 weeks later, I received an email saying, it's past the deadline and you haven't sent us this email. I immediately start freaking out. I forwarded them the email. I don't know how they didn't get my original email, but I forwarded them that email and sent them a new email. Here's the document, here's everything. I really want to accept this award. I'm in no way rejecting it. And so thankfully we got that figured out, but it was a pretty stressful half hour, 45 minutes for me as I tried to figure out that situation. But thankfully, they're very kind and they are still letting me go, even though I almost accidentally rejected my award. Again, not on purpose. I am so excited to go to Korea. But anyway, some of the other stuff I've been up to, I got my TEFL or my TESOL certification. This is the certification that qualifies me to teach English as a foreign language in foreign countries. It was a 20-lesson course. I think each lesson was supposed to be about 6 hours, so 120 hours in total. Thankfully, I did not take that long to do it. I could do each lesson between an hour or two, some less, some more, but I got it all finished. That's another reason I was thankful to have my substitute teaching job, because I was able to kind of step back from that for a moment so I could kind of focus on hitting my TEFL certification really hard for a week or two, and then once that was finished I was able to go back to substitute teaching. Additionally, I've also gotten my visa since the last time I uploaded a video. Actually, this is pretty recent, in the past week or so. Normally, for getting a visa, you would talk to the consulate of the country you're going to, so for me, the Korean consulate, and you can send your passport and documents in the mail to the consulate. They'll do all of their consulate stuff, and then they'll send you back your passport and your visa. I personally didn't feel comfortable with sending my passport in the mail, especially it being so soon to my departure time for South Korea, so I chose to drive to my closest consulate, which is in Chicago, so about a 7-hour drive for me. I was very thankful. My dad offered to drive up with me to Chicago to drop off my paperwork and my visa, or my passport, which is kind of a day trip, up one day, back the next. And then 2 weeks later, I went back up with my sister. We have some friends who lived up in Chicago, so we stayed up there for a few days. I was able to get my visa, get my passport, and drive back home without any problems. Thank goodness. I was really worried about that. I don't know why, but those kind of things stress me out. So thankfully, got my visa, no problem, ready to go. The one bummer about my visa, normally the Fulbright visa for South Korea, it's a specific visa. It's multiple entries, so you're able to kind of travel around and go to different places. But because of COVID right now, the visa is single entry. So I'm hoping that maybe things change so I have the opportunity to travel around to countries around South Korea. But even if they don't, I'm excited for the opportunity to go to Korea itself, so I'll make the most of it. Some other things that have happened more recently, I have my flights booked for South Korea. I'm leaving out of my hometown about 5:45 in the morning, flying to the Atlanta airport, And then from there, Atlanta, straight shot to South Korea, about a 15-hour flight. That'll be pretty fun, but I've already connected with other people that are other Fulbrights that are going to be on my flight. And that brings me to the next thing that I did recently, my Fulbright orientation. We had a Zoom meeting about a week or two ago where they gave us a bunch of information. I took a bunch of notes of things just to make sure that we're thinking about and things that we have prepared, things like that. We had the opportunity to connect with the other South Korea ETAs. This is something that I've been trying to do since May when I got my Fulbright. I've been searching all over like social media and Facebook and whatever, and I must not have been doing such a good job because apparently some people found each other like back in May, and so they've had a Kakao group chat this entire time, and I haven't been able to find them. But thankfully, now through the Zoom, I was able to connect with all of them, so now all like 70 of us are in a Kakao group chat, and it's super nice just being able to talk to each other, share tips with what we're doing, like with packing and documents and things like that, so I'm really thankful to have connected with them finally. So that's kind of caught you up to where I'm at currently, so now I guess what I'm doing right now. I'm finishing up my paperwork. I only have a few things left, like some tax documents, which are kind of confusing, but thankfully my dad is helping me work through those. I'm also starting to think about how I want to pack for this trip. I know people in my cohort group chat have already packed, and that's making me a little stressed out that I haven't yet, but I have 15 days, so I'm good on time. But I'm hoping end of this week I'll get to start packing, and I'll probably take the camera along with me for that journey because I did that last time I was in Korea. And I'm just waiting for a few more things from Fulbright. They're supposed to send me out a Korean placement test, so the Korean classes that we'll take during our orientation in Korea, just to see what level we're at. I've been studying Korean. Well, I've been studying off and on for the past like 4 or 5 years, probably more off than on in the past year or so, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of it because I really do not want to be placed at a beginner level. I've taken many beginner Korean classes, and so I'm hoping that I can at least make it up to intermediate this time around because I do know something, so I'm studying in the hopes that I can get a higher level Korean class. Also from Fulbright, I'm waiting for them to send out some lectures ahead of time. They are sending us some stuff to do, also some homework, like making lesson plans and things like that. So I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm excited to start making lesson plans because we'll get to test those out during our orientation and receive feedback, so that's something I'm looking forward to. So I'm hoping end of this week, beginning of next week, they'll send out more information about that. But a few days ago, actually I think it was on Christmas, they sent out our handbooks for ETAs and then for teaching, and so I've been working through those, reading through those, make sure I know all the information before I get over to Korea so I'm not surprised by anything. Basically kind of just what to expect once we get over there. Finally, since I only have 15 days left, I'm trying to make the most of it. See all of the friends and family I want to before I leave, because obviously I won't be able to come back because the visa thing. But I originally had planned to have a going away party for myself. Yes, I planned a party for myself. But it was more of just an opportunity to say goodbye to as many people as possible. I had wanted to make a bunch of Korean food because I love to cook and just kind of share that passion with my friends and family. But because of COVID and the new variants and things like that, I've decided that I wouldn't really feel comfortable having so many people kind of eating and unmasked around each other. So to keep all of them safe and to keep myself safe and healthy, I decided that we're just going to do sort of like a drive-by. They can come during a certain period of time. They can come say goodbye to me because I still want the chance to say goodbye to them, but just being able to stay safe, stay distanced, stay masked. So that's coming up this week. I also have meetings planned with some of my other friends, some of my family members. It's weird because it's kind of finally starting to feel real that I'm going to South Korea. Up until kind of a week or two ago, this is what I'd say to people, like, it's sunk in that I'm leaving, but it hasn't sunk in that I'm going. Like, it feels real that I'm leaving everything I know, everything I'm familiar with, all my friends, all my family. I'm leaving for them for a year. That has sunk in, and so that's kind of like the sad side of things and the anxious side of things, and so I've been feeling that really heavy, especially last week was kind of rough for me. But now that is getting closer to my departure date, it's finally starting to feel real that I'm going. that I'm going to South Korea, that I'm meeting a bunch of new people, that I'm getting the opportunity to teach abroad. That part is finally starting to sink in. Not all the way there yet, but we're getting there. So I'm starting to get excited. It's starting to feel real for me. Yeah, so that's about all I have for this update. I'm not usually comfortable with talking in front of a camera this much. So hopefully I don't have too many videos like this in the future. I normally like to film things like when I'm doing things like that. I'll probably take the camera along with me while I'm packing and getting ready to go and things like that. But for now, that's all I've got for you. So 15 days till Korea. I'm gonna make the most of them. Peace out.